So. Okay. Das ist ganz komisch bei dem Spiel. Ich muss sehr lange warten, bis es startet. Das habe ich bei keinem anderen Spiel. Und wenn ich das übertragen will auf dem Bildschirm, dann muss ich das Erspielen da anklicken und dann zeigt er mir das erst an. Also ganz komisch. Ja, willkommen zurück. Das habe ich euch gar nicht gezeigt, als ich rausgegangen bin. Stand da, möchtest du wirklich deinen Job beenden oder willst du deine Arbeit wirklich beenden? Zeige ich euch später gleich. Gerade ein bisschen laut. Aber ich hatte das ja schon alles eingestellt, dass das nicht so laut ist, aber ja. Ja, Chapter 2 sind wir. Und das spielen wir heute.
Who the fuck did this? I don't have anything valuable. Money. They must have stolen the money. Fuck! Great. That's all I need. Ooh, what if it was Red Pete?
Der Ehering ist weg, als ihr letztes Mal nicht dabei wart.
Where? I need my pills. I can't get my thoughts together.
Das Badezimmer war hier. Nee. Ups. Warte.
Okay. I'm gonna have to report this to the police. Christ. Why did the neighbors not report anything? I'm calling Stephen. Stephen?
Now, Jack, I told you I'm going for a drink with you for another night in a row.
That's not why I'm ringing. Although I could do with one. Someone broke into my apartment.
What? Did anyone see anything? Have you called the police yet?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, no one contacted me. As for the police, I'm calling right now, officer.
All right. Do you want me to head around? Look for any trace evidence?
I don't know. No, I guess not. Honestly, I don't have the strength to deal with it right now. I just want to lie down.
Are you sure? Because it's no trouble at all.
I think so. I'm sorry. I just wanted to calm down a bit. I don't know. That's probably some stupid joke. Only money was stolen.
Money? From Alice's box? Oh, fuck. Listen, I can come over. I have the key. I'll drop by, do what I need to do, and you go get some sleep.
No, don't trouble yourself. Lately, I've been just so tired and distracted. I don't
Ja, die
know.
Ringe waren ja noch da.
Maybe I forgot to close the apartment door on my way to work. If anything else is missing, I'll let you know and call the police.
All right. Just make sure you close it tonight. If you see anything weird tomorrow, let me know. Whoever did this may be watching you.
I don't think anyone is dumb enough to come back.
You're probably right. Take care, Jack. If you need anything, call me.
I promise I will. Thanks, Stephen. Sorry to bother you again. I've just been all over the place lately.
It's not a problem. Good night, Jack.
Good night. What? I guess I should clean this shit up. Where to start? I'm glad this didn't break.
Jack, why?
I think I'm just tired. There you go. To be honest, I could leave it like this. I still don't understand why Alice liked this painting so much.
Die Couch.
Maybe I could barricade the door with this. I should pack this thing away. I have no interest in DIY at the moment. Now I'm sure I won't get caught up in these papers. Alice's family should really have some of these. That's enough for now. Jeez, I'm exhausted. I'll get the rest in the morning.
Räume 6 Wohnungen nach einem anderen. Ja, ist in Ordnung. Der Ring ist weg. Doch richtig gut.
Oh yeah, I should take my pills.
Jetzt ist alles wieder normal.
I feel like it takes me forever to finish these things. That's enough. It will never look clean. I need to quickly change and finish getting ready. I'm gonna be late for work again. Got my keys, got my files. Check. Time to go. Remember to close the door properly, Jack. I'll ask the neighbors tomorrow if they saw anything suspicious. I wonder if Ridley fixed the coffee machine.
Wenn ich das nicht benutze.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Maybe they'll finally fix that door.
Sollte die Tür ist kaputt.
Standard correspondence consisting of bills, advertising leaflets,
Trockene Freunde.
and pious reminders about the upcoming end of the world.
Hier.
Maybe a bit optimistic. I'd better grab a coffee on the way. I'm exhausted. I wonder who Stephen brought in today. Good morning, Mr. Ridley. Oh, he's not here yet? No, I'll do without him. I hope he... Oh, come on. He was too lazy to even wheel the gurney to the autopsy room. Almost there. Now for the tough part. The body needs to be moved. Where's Ridley when you need him? Alright. I just need some gloves and my apron. Then I can get to work. I'm going to need my tape recorder for this. Autopsy dated November 22nd, 1991. 7:32 p.m. Led by Dr. Jack Hanman. I begin by verifying the identity of the Jane Doe. It's most likely Harper Lloyd, age 35. Found in a well-owned house by her neighbors Leonard and Dorothy Chelsea. Reported missing for a week. Firefighters found the body after the Chelsea family began complaining that their tap water tasted strange, and at one point had begun to smell and turn a dark color. It is also known that the deceased was diagnosed with affective bipolar disorder. Harper was placed on drug therapy, which she dropped out of fairly regularly. During her treatment, she was under the care of her common-law partner, Richard Benson, professional truck driver. The last person who had contact with the deceased was her partner. Harper's last message read as follows: "I'm gonna take a shit in their stupid well. Then we'll see who has the last laugh." Nice one. Police records also show that Mrs. Lloyd was in constant conflict with her neighbors. The constant parties and subsequent brawls made living in the area nearly impossible, especially when Lloyd's partner wasn't around. I proceed to open the bag and check the state of decomposition of the corpse. The most important task in forensic identification of a drowned person is to distinguish whether the death occurred before or after entering the water. Okay, that could have been worse. I carefully removed the victim's clothes so as not to damage the skin. The deceased was found fully clothed. One shoe was missing. I'm going to need the camera to document all possible suspicious marks. Definitely the first thing that stands out is the very advanced post-mortem gigantism. The skin of the deceased appears very delicate, smooth, and relaxed from being in the water for a long time. The whole body is extremely pale. There are some obvious scratches in the skin. There are bruises and hemorrhages on the neck. These usually occur due to increased inhalation when fighting to breathe underwater. The skin on the hands can be easily separated from the body. The separation takes the form of a glove. It's likely that the deceased was lying on her back when she was fished out. Post-mortem markings are seen on the underside of the body, that is, on the back, thighs, and calves of the deceased.
Oh.
The so-called washerwoman's skin on the feet. The deceased had indeed been in the water for a long time. So, after the preliminary exam, it's time to take a closer look at this. Today's date, the deceased was clothed. Rigor mortis does not need to be checked. Based on the state of decay, you can be sure it has subsided. Where to start? We see thick, white foam in the mouth of the deceased, resulting from pulmonary edema. Foam is a characteristic in deaths due to drowning. There are obvious scratches on the skin, especially on the back and hands. These could be defensive wounds, evidence of some sort of altercation prior to death. The spots have a purplish blue-red hue, which is a typical sign of the death of the organism. Yep, pretty typical. Liver mortis are formed as a result of putrefaction of blood in the veins. No obvious signs of struggle. The skin on the hands would have easily peeled away from the flesh. Some of the fingers have already lost their nails. Due to the fact that the deceased was wearing shoes all the time, her feet are in better condition than her hands. Nevertheless, we can still notice a clear, wavy skin and the so-called washerwoman's skin texture. Okay, that's probably enough to indicate a direction for further examination. I'd better note that down in the records. Marks found on the neck and foaming at the mouth are typical signs of drowning people. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about this liver mortis. Hands heavily wrinkled from submersion in water, typical washerwoman skin. Diffuse spots are caused by blood rotting in the veins. Considering the deceased's penchant for drinking alcohol, it could have been a mere accident. Those abrasions appear relatively fresh. No healing or scarring is visible. In this case, the question is, was drowning an accident or of suicidal intent? Their distribution suggests that the victim was probably lying on her back when fished out of the water. Fortunately, the skin on the hands didn't fall off. Otherwise, I'd have trouble identifying the deceased. Liver mortis of a different color could indicate poisoning with carbon monoxide, cyanides, or nitrates. However, this is not the case here. A simple trip, loss of balance, and as a result, you end up in a deep hole with no way out. Maybe it's just abrasion, or maybe the result of a fight and being pushed into a well. That's all for now. Before I begin the dissection, I'll make sure the suggested identity is correct.
Was muss ich jetzt machen?
The suitcase with the fingerprint equipment should be around here somewhere.
So. Koffer.
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. Oh, here it is. With decomposing bodies, the tissue of the pads and the fingers tends to shrink. To remove these shrinkages, a mixture of glycerin or air is used. If the body of the deceased is well preserved, fingerprinting is similar to that of a living person. The fingerprint sheet should always be checked. Slipping fingers, too much or too little ink, or inaccurate hand position can make fingerprints illegible. I'm going to conduct a dactyloscopic examination. If in fact the deceased is in the police database, I will find her. Glycerin is injected successively between the nail and the skin of each finger. The substance then enters the fingertip, removing shrinkage and wrinkles. Now I take a brush. Only when the skin is taut and elastic can you use ink. I think it's enough. I'm getting fingerprint samples. In the case of drowning victims, you have to be extremely careful. The skin may fall off the hand like a glove when you take the print. I'll use the fax machine to add the print into the system.
Irgendwie gerade gesagt. So.
Green button and... Once the data uploads, I'll run the prints against the police database on the computer. Great, the data is there. Click upload. Now, go through the database and find a matching print. Expect possible hours of fun. One more. Analyze button. And we have a result. Everyone has a story to tell, even if it's just a police record. So, as predicted, the deceased turned out to be Harper Lloyd. That went smoothly. I'll print this out and attach it to the medical records. Great. Now we can go back to my inspection.
Frau im Brunnen. Bestätige die Identität der Verstorbenen.
I'm adding the name of the deceased. I'll start the internal examination by taking fluid from the victim's brain. A needle inserted through the nose will do the trick. If the victim was alive when she fell into the well, she must have swallowed water fighting for her life, and then diatoms, characteristics of pooled water like a well, got into the body. In the meantime, I'll check the sample under the microscope. I'm sure that these algae traces will be found in the samples taken from the well where police found the body. Now I need to adjust the knobs properly and place the diatom in the center of the slide. Diatoms are single-celled microscopic algae. I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this distance. Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae. The aperture still needs adjustment. The image is too dark. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. Nah, too much light. I won't be able to see the diatom's transparent wall. Oh, nah. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. The aperture still needs adjustment. The image is too... Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, but rather a... And perfect. As expected, we find the aforementioned algae in the solution. Their upper part, Epitheca, which overlaps the lower,
Vielen Dank
Hypotheca, is clearly visible.
für dein Follow.
The presence of diatoms in the brain samples taken indicate that the deceased
Hallo,
was certainly
Bonsai.
alive when she fell into the water and was possibly conscious.
Alles gut bei dir? kommt mir dein Name bekannt vor oder wer bist du noch? Oder bist du ganz neu? Kehre zurück zu uns.
Since there were diatoms in the brain, it means that many more of them must have entered the body. Studies of the rest of the organs will most likely confirm this hypothesis.
Ach so, du bist der ganz Neue. Ja, mir geht's gut, danke. Was? Die Menge der Flüssigkeit deutet darauf hin, dass das Opfer noch bei Bewusstsein war.
I can finally get to the practical part. I must be extra careful because the skin of the deceased is very stretched. I wouldn't want an explosion here. You can immediately see a very large swelling of the organs. In addition, all internal organs are very congested. I proceed to remove the rib cage. It's easy to see that the ribs have been imprinted in the lungs. So, I'm going to start by drawing blood from the lungs for testing for diatoms. If diatoms were only present in the lungs, this would mean that the victim was placed in the well after death, and the perpetrator wanted to get rid of the corpse in this way. Now, I remove taking the lungs in my hand. I feel that the tissues have lost their elasticity, which is the result of water emphysema. In addition, there is significant swelling of the organs, and as a result, we have a nice imprint of the ribs. The emphysema itself, it's clear how far it's progressed, which is characteristic of drowning. Corpses found in water are worth examining with a tomograph. However, I can't count on such luxuries, so I must reach for a more archaic technology, a bucket and water. Who has anyone been here? I hope no one dipped a mop in it. It's best to go to the lab for this. Oh, Jesus.
So, ich muss erstmal Wasser holen.
Historically, the lung float test is used to detect infanticide. The water should be at room temperature. That's enough. To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water. This checks if there is air in the lungs. And speaking of lungs, everything is ready to bring them here. Of course, such a study isn't without flaws. Air may have entered a newborn's airways during resuscitation attempts. Gases released during decomposition could also give a false result. In this case, however, it's about something else, namely, the amount of fluid in the lungs. To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water and wait to see if they fall or if they will float on the surface. Just as I assumed, the lungs collapsed easily. Fluid could have entered the lungs during panic attempts to catch breath underwater, but it could also be the result of bacterial infections or cancer, so further investigation is needed. I move on to dissecting the lungs of the deceased. You can hear the distinct, very unpleasant crackling of the tissues being cut through. The parenchyma is remarkably pale, although small hemorrhagic foci and petechia are present on the surface. All right. Now, I will check the collected fluid under a microscope. If we find 20 diatoms on the slide, it can be considered drowning, and our result is not false positive due to possible contaminations. Let's see, although I expect we'll find them easily. I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this distance. Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae. The aperture still needs adjustment. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. It's not a dirty lens, and perfect.
Ich muss das noch ein bisschen heller machen, oder?
Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, and perfect. As expected. In solution, the diatoms are clearly visible. There are smaller and larger clusters of them. There will definitely be more than 20 of them. I'll make a note of all this. So far, this case looks pretty standard. It's clear from the beginning that it's drowning. Well, the procedure requires me to check everything anyway. So, I move on to checking the other organs. I ligate the heart, and then remove it for inspection. strongly developed putrefactic hemolysis of the organ can be seen at first glance. Apart from that, no signs of a heart attack or other heart disease. I move on to the next organ. This time, it's the liver. It's immediately apparent that the deceased didn't care for herself. Like most organs, her liver is enlarged and severely congested. The beginnings of cirrhosis are visible in some areas. I transfer the organ to a board and proceed to dissect. The cross-section clearly shows dilated veins and many small hemorrhagic foci. I must admit that this is quite a feat, considering the rather young age of the deceased. Harper enjoyed drinking so much that she might not have lasted a few more years. I move on to the stomach. I take a sample of the fluid for testing.
Hey, Spitze.
It looks very turbid. I'll see what happens after spinning, but that's in a moment. Now, I carefully ligate the organ, then cut it off. It's enlarged, probably full of putrid gases. I transfer to the board and carefully open it, checking the contents. One thing you'd never get used to is how much this desk smells. Okay, the stomach is full of fluid and unidentified organic matter, which is probably leftover food. So let's check the diatoms. Again, but in a centrifuge for a change. The problem with examining drowned people is being able to show whether the death was due to drowning or whether something else contributed to the death. Cramp, heart attack, drugs, homicide, or some accident. Such an analysis requires viewing from different angles and a careful interpretation of the collected data, including those from the field. That's why it's so important to collect as many samples as possible. Unfortunately. Okay, this is one last little sample. Now, set.
Das war jetzt. Tomen durch. Also. Alles. Ja, 35 Menü und 25. Was habe ich jetzt gesagt? 35. Und 25%.
Done. I'll run it directly into the chromatograph and run it against the data from the police. I'm certain the analysis will show similarities between the fluid and water in Chelsea's well.
Och. Wieder was.
Let me think. 3 milliliters should be fine.
Oh. Ja.
Okay, now it's the chromatograph's turn.
Gibt die in der Probe. Was?
Yes. The water sample matches the one provided by the police. Well, the results are quite clear. I was hoping it would be a more interesting case. More diatoms. Analysis indicates the same origin. Blah, blah, blah. There's little left to do. I'm going to check the airway patency of the deceased. Interesting. Looks like there's something stuck in the trachea. I'm moving to the board for further inspection. I dissect the trachea and open the organ. Inside, I find a wedding ring. This is interesting. Let me look at it. Based on the size, I can say that it's a woman's wedding ring, quite standard from the outside. There's an engraving inside.
Kann ich mit zurück?
What the fuck? But this is my ring. Alice's ring.
Decke den
But,
Ehering.
but how did it? But this should be at home. I have it. At home. It's. I have to check this out. Where are my meds? Where the fuck are my meds? Huh? Jesus Christ! Hope these all make it go away. I have to check the apartment. It can't be. Jesus Christ! Mr. Ridley, Mr. Ridley!
What's all the ruckus?
I need to go home. Immediately.
What? Now?
I have to. Have you seen anyone here this morning? Anybody suspicious?
Oh, there was no one. Dorothy was, but only for a moment, then she left. What's wrong with you, Hammond?
Okay. Thanks.
What about the corpse?
I'll come back, I promise. Jesus Christ! I have to check this out. This can't be real. Where is it? Where is it? Where? Please be there. It's not here. It's not. I need to go. This is sick. Fuck. Come on, Stephen. Pick up the fucking phone.
What's up, man?
They took the ring!
What? What ring? What are you talking about?
They took the wedding ring. Alice's wedding ring.
One sec. You mean burglary? You said nothing was missing.
Yes, I know. I know that. I don't know. I was jittery. Maybe I didn't notice. I don't know, but that's not the worst of it.
Calm down, Jack. Breathe. What happened?
I found it in the trachea of the deceased I was working on. Do you understand? I pulled it out of a dead woman's trachea.
What?
I don't know what's going on. You think Red Pete wants revenge? He's playing with me. I knew it. I knew it from the beginning this was going to happen. I didn't make it up!
Jack, listen to me. Try to calm down. Don't leave the apartment. I'll be with you right away, okay? I'm on my way.
What sane person would do something like that? How? And when? When the fuck? Fucking Ridley lets in whoever he likes as usual. What are you saying? Stephen? Don't leave me, man. Come on. Fuck. Oh, God, what now? Okay, just calm down. Just calm down. I need a drink. Jesus. What's going on? Just one sip more. Yep. Jesus. Just one sip more. Okay. All right. I can't do it anymore. These reports will kill me one day. I'll have to finish it over the weekend. It's time to go to work. I should take out the trash first. Jesus. Fuck. Maybe I'll just ignore it. Yes?
Hi, this is Charlotte. I guess I interrupted you again?
Oh, hi. No, I just... I wrote reports in those last sections, and I was just about to leave for work.
I always know when to call.
Yeah, definitely. What's up? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What about you?
Okay, nothing new. I had a few days off.
Oh, that's nice. Then... Did you have a moment to look for something for me?
Something for you?
Well... the photo with the photo I asked you for?
It hasn't come yet? Sorry, but I said it a week ago.
No, not yet. Maybe I'm too impatient. Sorry for rushing you. You have so much on your mind, I thought maybe you forgot.
It's okay. No worries. With my pills, Pills. I almost forgot to take my pills. So you see,
Yeah.
I have to go now.
Yes, sure.
Let me know if you still haven't received the letter. Then I'll try... well, maybe I'll find something else.
Oh, really? Could you? It would be great if you could. Really?
Yes. I know it means a lot to you.
Well, I won't hold you any longer. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Damn. Did I mess up the address? How am I gonna get those pills? Maybe I should invite Charlotte to do something herself. Ugh. Why is it so wet? Ugh. I shouldn't be this tired. What's going on? I wonder if Alice's mother has a film of this photo somewhere. I actually hadn't thought about it before. I should call her on Friday. Oh, God. Why do I like sleeping so much? Huh? Good afternoon.
Isn't it a bit early for you?
I missed our invigorating conversations. Has Stephen brought the body?
Yeah, the trolley's in the hall. Maybe wheeling it to the dissection room will be invigorating enough for you.
I've missed how friendly and helpful you are. I think I'll get straight to work on this one. Focusing on something will do me some good. Christ, this one's heavy. Hey, Mr. Ridley, I need help. I can't lift this bag myself. Ridley! Ugh, wasn't easy, but at least I can start. A new package must have arrived. I guess Dorothy ordered it. I think I'll skip recording the video for the students today. They don't need to see me and the body. Ugh. And they'll still have the accompanying photos anyway. November 27th, 1991, 5:14 p.m. Conducted James Evans Jr., also known as Jesse. Age about 30, weight 130 kilograms, height 180 centimeters. Evans had previously been convicted of possession of stolen goods, robberies, and drug trafficking. There were also attempts to accuse him of leading a criminal group responsible for burglaries in the New Orleans area. What? Burglaries in the New Orleans area? This is... It's a rather strange coincidence. Police photos show that the body was not even particularly hidden, but only covered with a thin layer of soil, branches, and leaves. The body was found naked and mutilated. Clothes, probably belonging to the deceased, were found lying nearby. The body was found inadvertently in the woods near Peetsville. The dogs picked up the scent while searching for a missing boy. The deceased's father, James Evans Sr., is a local businessman. He was the one who reported the disappearance. At the time of the report, his son hadn't been home for 3 days. Sounds disturbing. I wonder what condition the body is in then. I'll start by opening the bag. Oh, fuck. I didn't expect this level of mutilation. This is going to be a dirty job. I'll check through the bag the police left. Maybe there will be something worth noting about the victim's clothes. Leather belt. You can see that it's been serving its owner for a long time. Plain cotton t-shirt. Classic jeans. Well, dirty and torn. Certainly not my style. Traces of blood and plasma. Is this? Oh, you can push it? After all, what else could I expect? Weird. Someone obviously didn't want to put in the work. Interesting. Most of the blood is visible around the neckline. However, after decapitation, I would expect a larger stain, reaching much further. Something stuck here. It looks like some kind of ecdysis? Scale? That mainly traces of soil. It's a bit like the perpetrator's pulled his shirt over his head. The bloodstains don't appear to be related to any injuries on the body. The deceased must have been unclothed before he was injured. A lighter, engraved with the police insignia. Stolen? Or maybe purchased from him. It looks somehow... it's probably a coincidence.
Guck, da bist du für heute wirklich mit deiner Arbeit fertig? Nein, ich muss wieder zurück an die Arbeit. Ja, lass mich raus. Das wollte ich euch mal noch zeigen. Ich glaube, das ist nämlich gerade abgestürzt. Ich versuche es jetzt nochmal zu starten. Ich habe nämlich eigentlich alles jetzt gerade gefunden am Ende. Ist das jetzt da? sieht das jetzt so komisch bei euch aus? Moment. Das ist total verschoben gerade gewesen. So. Oh nein, jetzt muss ich das wieder
God.
machen.
Why do I like sleeping so much? Huh? Good afternoon.
Isn't it a bit early?
I think I'll get straight to work on this one. Focusing on something will do me some good. Christ, this one's heavy. Hey, Mr. Ridley, I need help. I can't lift this bag myself.
Auch die blöde Musik.
Ridley! Ugh, wasn't easy, but at least I can start. A new package must have arrived. I guess Dorothy ordered it. I think I'll skip recording a video for the students today. They don't need to see me and the body. Ugh. And they'll still have the accompanying photo. November 27th, 1991. James Evans Jr. Evans had previously been convicted of possession of police photos show that the body was not. The body was found naked and. The body was found inadvertently in the woods near Pete. Sounds disturbing. I wonder what condition the body is in then. I'll start by opening the bag.
So.
Oh, fuck. I didn't expect this level of mutilation. This is going to be a dirty job. Maybe there will be something worth noting about the victim's clothes. Leather belt, plain cut, classic jeans. Certainly not my style. Is this? Oh. After all, what else could I expect? Weird. Someone obviously didn't want to put in the work. Interesting. Most of something's stuck here. It looks like some kind of ectasis. The bloodstains don't appear to be related to any injuries on a lighter engraved with the police insignia. It looks somehow... it's probably a coincidence. Traces of dirt mixed with blood and rubbed leaf litter. Evans must have been crawling, or was dragged along the ground.
Ja. Und immer noch nicht weg hier. Aber was muss ich denn jetzt noch machen?
Mainly traces of soil. It's a bit like the perpetrators pulled his shirt over his head.
Sag weg. Verstehe ich nicht so recht. Was ich jetzt hier noch machen soll. das ist doch doof. Das ist auf jeden Fall, glaube ich, ein Bug oder sowas. Entweder mache ich das alles viel zu schnell oder...
And here,
Ah,
another animal souvenir.
toll.
It looks different than the previous one. The only thing I can tell from the clothes is that before his death, Evans had either put up quite a fight, or the attackers simply dragged him along the ground for a long distance. In turn, and this is certainly strange, the injuries themselves were inflicted only when he was naked. Okay, I'll take a look at the scales. They seem too different. Dorothy once brought an animal encyclopedia here. She performed an autopsy on an exotic animal smuggler. The guy suffered an accident while transporting illegal animals. Not only were the police needed on site, but it took nearly a day to wrap up his cargo. Dorothy had a hard time with that case. Did the impact kill him? Or did one of the animals he was transporting do him in? They even talked about it on the news. People were terrified that some reptile would just come out of their can and grab him. Okay, the book. Who is this? All right. Oh, which page was it? Local wildlife. I bet I'll find something here. Evans was found in the woods by the river. There could be a nesting site nearby. I'll first have to check the body for marks, and then come back to it. This type of alligator itself doesn't attack humans. Something must have bothered him. Evans was found in the woods by the river. There could be a nesting site nearby. This type of alligator itself doesn't attack humans. Evans was found in the woods by the river. There could be a nesting site nearby. Not this area, but who knows? That's a long swim to make it all the way here. Ugh. Maybe I'll look at the pictures another time. Nile crocodile. Formerly worshipped as a god in ancient Egypt, and today just by kids at the zoo. Well, I wouldn't expect them in the Mississippi River. From a distance, these animals seem so cute. Let's keep it that way. What kind is this? Ah, saltwater. I'm glad these things live so far away. I hope the photographer had a long lens.
Objekt ziehen. Ach so. Wo ist das?
That jaw could effectively kill. I'm glad these things... Oh, yes. This turtle turned out to be a killer. He ripped off the guy's wrist and tore him in a few other places. Aggressive beast. I only need to concentrate on the crocodile chapter.
Man kann das... Kann ich denn jetzt noch mal zurück?
No, that's not it. Nah, this one here looks more like a handbag. Very similar, but the color is slightly different. Oh, that was quick. I wouldn't expect anything else. Evans was found in the woods by the river. I'll first have to check the body for marks, and then come back to it. Nope. It's a completely different color and structure. That's strange. Nope. It's a completely different color and structure. I don't know why I'm even bothering to compare it. It's immediately obvious that, no way. I would expect something local? I certainly don't remember hearing of an animal escaping from the zoo. So, either someone donned in crocodile products was around the deceased, or one of them attacked him. I'll examine the body and take photos. If an animal attacked him, there'll be traces. Ugh, Christ. Why am I so tired? Some coffee would be nice. What was I supposed to... the pictures. I'll have to show them to Dorothy. Too bad that we no longer keep our ranking. With something like that, I would come out on top. There hasn't been a case like this for a long, long time. All right, I'll begin. The deceased's skin is smooth and taut. This suggests an advanced stage of decomposition of the corpse. Interesting. This needs to be investigated further. It's unlikely that a human would make such a wound. Nasty. Such a wound could not have occurred during the victim's lifetime. There are also clear traces of the deceased's ankles being bound in some way. No head. That's not hard to miss. Oh, and as expected, there's a bite. Evans couldn't have tied himself up like that. It looks like some sort of attack or kidnapping. This wound appears to have been made by a sharp instrument. I need to gather my thoughts together. And look at these photos. It seems that this case will... I wonder whether the decapitation took place before or after death. I should inspect these. The work of animals can be seen here. The question is which ones.
Autopsy Simulator. Warte.
This looks very promising. The bite is clearly visible. It should be easy to compare it with the encyclopedia and identify the culprit. I just need to make it a little bigger. It'll be faster than physically measuring the bite. right. I can never remember whether it was image up or image down. At university, I didn't have facilities like a fax machine. Everything was done. Ah, fantastic. Practically a one-to-one. Just some tracing paper, a pencil, and I can check these in the encyclopedia. Now, did I leave them in a drawer? Or maybe a box somewhere? Ugh. I don't remember if I left them out somewhere. Archives. Just as lifeless as the corpses they concern.
Voll in deinem Büro. Ja.
Awful. It would be good to finally repair the coffee machine. They definitely pay me too little for this. Archives. Just as lifeless as the corpses they concern. Oh, looks like I can tidy up after myself. Sometimes. A very, nature-driven case so far. I'll have to consult the encyclopedia again. Good thing Dorothy left it here. Otherwise, I would have had to run back to my place to get some.
Ach nee.
I would be concerned if it was this crocodile that killed him. The shape of the jaw appears correct, but not the teeth. It makes sense. This would also explain the mold found in the clothes. It turns out that some of the wounds can be safely blamed on local alligators. However, we cannot blame them for the decapitation. It's not these animals we should be afraid of here. I should make some notes and start the autopsy. Ugh. And look for Mississippi alligator. It's strange that an alligator would leave such a clear and smooth mark. Several stab wounds of varying depth and circumference. It doesn't look good. Evans wasn't decapitated with one cut. The imprints are quite deep and even. From the looks of it, I'd say Evans was restrained with his own belt. The result of an animal tearing at its body, eaten skin, soft tissues, and genitals. There are even some teeth marks, but, well, it doesn't look like an alligator. The bite is firmly incorporated into the wound. A photo alone won't help me here. I need to make a cast and compare it. Looks like an uneven bite.
Alles
It's worth
gut bei
taking a
dir?
closer look at this. Maybe there will be some remaining teeth marks. Evan's right side must have been more attractive to the crocs and insects.
Ja, bei mir ist auch alles in Ordnung. Außer, dass meine 2 Katzen jetzt vor meinem Urlaub so eingeschläfert werden mussten.
Very
Die habe ich
strong
jetzt nicht
binding
mehr.
marks. You can see peeled epidermis and small wounds.
Also schauen Sie und Felicitas gibt es nicht mehr. Dankeschön. Ja. Die waren beide herzkrank und die Schauenzie, die hat man ja versucht in die Vene zu kommen und da kam nicht mal mehr Blut. Das heißt, sie war komplett ausgetrocknet. Ich habe das nicht mitgekriegt, dass sie gar nichts mehr getrunken hat. Die trinken ja sowieso wenig, aber die hat wirklich gar nichts mehr getrunken. Und die Felicitas, die hatte einen Tumor innen drin, einen gefährlichen und ja. Und die waren schon 17 Jahre alt. Ja. Will ich noch was übersehen? Will ich auf der anderen Seite gehen? Ach ja, mit dem Biss. Hä? So macht er das denn trotzdem wieder so? Ach, da.
It looks like the killer might have missed before they finally hit the neck.
Ja. Das ist auch im Moment sehr schrecklich für mich, weil das ist eine riesige Umstellung hier. Also, ja, die fehlen hier schon. Untersucht die verdächtigen Stellen mit der Lupe. Ja, das habe ich ja.
There's no end to playing zoologist today.
Aber erstmal will ich jetzt noch sparen für eine Bengalkatze. Und die kosten ja einiges, ne?
I need a tool with dental impression cement. Can I find it here? No. It's probably lying somewhere around in the lab.
Ja, nicht ganz alleine, aber halt ohne Tier, ne? Das ist schon sehr
I hope the
schwierig.
cement hasn't expired.
Wo ist denn die Spritze?
A month after the due date. That could be worse.
Boah, so ein kleines Flix genervt mich. Ja, bis 1000 Euro. Du kannst damit rechnen. Und du musst ja noch eine Anzahlung machen, ne? Also, ja. Und ich habe auch schon mal mit jemandem diskutiert gehabt, aber der will unbedingt den festen Preis haben. Nee. Also, ja, dann muss ich jetzt erstmal sparen.
Now I need to cover the bite area. Wait until it hardens.
Wir
I
gehen
think it's
etwas
ready.
zusammen.
The cast looks quite contaminated from the other wounds in that area. Well, let's hope the imprint turns out better.
Dankeschön. Nimm die entsprechenden Werkzeuge aus dem Koffer. Koffer war hinter mir. Ja.
Brush, ink, and paper. Similar to taking fingerprints.
Erst näher dich dem Tablett. Achso. Eben. Aber sonst alles gut, ja. Urlaub war auch schön. In Renesse waren wir mit dem Hund. Und ja, das war alles sehr
Paint
lustig.
over the area. and put a piece of paper on it.
Und sonst bei dir?
That's very strange. I'll run it through the facts and check it on the computer. I really don't want to believe what I'm seeing.
Ja, mit der ist auch, mit den beiden sind auch, also, ja, mit denen war ich auch da und mit meinem Freund, ja. So. Einzuscannen, ja. Und bei dir alles gut? Ach so, okay. Auch mit Freundin alles in Ordnung? Gleich die Bewegung, ja.
Loading. Ugh.
Jetzt muss ich das vergleichen.
What? Wow. This is, well, this is quite unexpected. Human teeth. Oh, fuck. I need to tell this to Stephen. Loading.
Ach so, doch.
It'll probably take a while.
Was heißt soweit ja? Nicht so richtig. Gleich bis Hab ich doch. Ach so, das ist wieder andere. Welche nehmen wir denn da?
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Ach so, ja.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Ich nehme jetzt irgendwas, ist mir egal. Ich erkenne das gar nicht. Ja.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly. Maybe not everything is cataloged
Kann ja
correctly.
jetzt nur der sein. Hä?
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Das verstehe ich jetzt nicht.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Warum ist das so verschwommen?
Loading. It'll probably take a while.
Schon wieder. Ich sehe nichts.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly. Loading. It'll probably take a while. Finally.
Ach so.
What? The partial impression I have may match several people. Okay, this one is in prison, so he's out. Another in prison. Oh, here's someone with quite interesting tendencies. Oh, he's dead. It doesn't fit. This one doesn't either. I'm afraid this will remain a mystery. The killer's profile is getting more and more interesting.
Ich glaube, der muss seine Pillen mal wieder nehmen. Mach ich mal eben. Besser. Ich war gestern mit einem Klienten in Duisburg in den neuen Laden, in den Comic-Planet-Laden. Der ist richtig gut gewesen. Der hat...
I'm going back to the body. I need to make a note before I start the dissection.
Kimball.
You can see that the tool used was sharp and smooth. So, what if it was in the hands of an unskilled person? They look quite shallow. Someone must have inflicted these with some sort of primitive tool. Maybe something chased that alligator away before it bit down properly? This wound turned out to be more troublesome than I thought it would be. Torn tissue, lacerations, bite wounds.
Ach so. Da waren wir aber beide noch nie, glaube ich. Nee. Mittelalterfest. Ja, da bin ich meistens in Utrecht oder in, nennt sich das jetzt nochmal?
For obvious reasons, I record decapitation as
Da
the cause
ist
of death.
Elfjahr Festival, das ist ja auch mit, ja, mit Mittelalter.
I need to verify how deep these wounds go.
In
If they
Asien,
punctured the
genau.
organs,
Ich weiß auch
hemorrhaging could
noch
have occurred. Alligators rarely kill humans.
Wieso töten selten Menschen? Das kommt sehr oft vor.
The abdominal and genital area are supplied with plenty of blood. If the penis was bitten off while he was alive, Evans could have bled to death. The perfect breeding ground for larvae. Fortunately, the deceased doesn't care about it, just like we do now. Due to the body fat of the deceased, I'm adding a heart attack to the list. Maybe Evans didn't live long enough to experience what happened to him. Man. I was hoping for an easier case.
Ah ja, in Zanken ist das auch immer schön mit dem Siegfried-Spektakel, ja.
Time for internal analysis. Finally. First of all, I'll try to determine whether death occurred before the decapitation, or if it ended Evan's suffering. With the scalpel, I'll open the deceased's chest. I cut deep, in a straight line, avoiding the navel.
Hä? Wähle das Gefäß. Achso. Nicht richtig.
We see a lot of fat tissue under the skin. When I remove the ribs, I expect to see even more fat on the organs. Correct. High levels of internal fat, organ size above average due to obesity. I move on to the lung analysis.
Beginne mit der gründlichen Lungenanalyse.
The deceased smoked cigarettes, but more importantly, you can see... And this is the culprit. Well, it didn't look like the holes were that deep. Such hemorrhage could have been... Open pneumothorax should be added to this. The deceased could have experienced extreme hypoxia, and, as a result, obstructive shock. I wonder what the heart looks like then. The organ is enlarged but similarly to the lungs, there is a trace of puncture with a sharp object. In pneumothorax, the heart rate increases. In the event of such a wound, this would mean bleeding out faster and more. In turn, a sudden increase in the amount of fluid in the pericardial cavity could lead to cardiac tamponade, which is also a life-threatening condition.
Jede Menge Mangas und die hatten auch eine obere Etage mit gebrauchten Mangas, also ja, hat sich echt gelohnt. Und jede Menge Pokémon-Karten, Yu-Gi-Oh! Karten, die hatten alle von Karten, auch One Piece Karten, die man halt so sammelt. Ja. Ja, ich habe mir einen Manga von Junji Ito geholt, also den Horror-Manga, ja, Mangaka. Und ja, und er hat sich da Karten geholt. Was ich noch sagen wollte, in Kloster Greventhal, das ist bei Goch Aspern, genau. Da gibt es auch immer im Winter diesen Weihnachtsmarkt mit Mittelalter. Das ist auch sehr, sehr schön. Und der Ostermarkt, ja, so Ostern rum, der ist auch mit Mittelaltermarkt. Das ist auch immer toll.
Evans, however, is remarkably clean,
Ja, wieso war ja
considering
klar,
this
ich war
turn
noch
of
nicht
events.
sicher, ob ich mir das jetzt kaufen sollte oder nicht. Ja.
This all looks quite disturbing. I wonder if the organ is fatty and enlarged. The beginnings of cirrhosis are obvious. Well, that's it. This time, nothing to write home about.
Ja, aber mir fehlen noch die anderen Sachen. Shifa möchte ich noch gerne haben und Uzumaki heißt das. Von Junji Ito.
So, I proceed to carefully remove the stomach.
Und Tomi ist auch super. Aber das war mir noch zu teuer.
Like most other organs, it is fatty and clearly enlarged, not to mention swollen, partially due to gases, but mainly due to the deceased's lifestyle. I take the organ to the cutting board. If the outside is intact, I'm going to check the contents. It sounds like
ja,
there's
auf
an
der Dokumi war
unusually
ich ja
large
auch.
amount of undigested, and now rotten stomach contents inside.
Und das war sehr voll. Ich habe Daniel Schlauch getroffen, den Synchronsprecher von Ruffy. Und ihm einen Tipp gegeben, wer als nächstes von den Darstellern spielen soll. Also es geht um den Fushitoka, den blinden Admiral. Da habe ich ihm einen Tipp gegeben, wer den spielen soll. Aber er hat leider keine Befugnis, also er kann es nicht bestimmen, aber er kann das weitergeben.
Blood. Evans had to swallow it due to his injuries, which means he was still alive when he was brutally wounded in the chest.
Ach so, okay. Ja, aber ich krieg die auch so billiger von Gebrauchsseiten. Ja. Kehre zurück zur Autopsy. Ja, und Tommy Morgenstern war auch da war ich auch. Hab mir da ein Autogramm geholt, aber das war ein Geschenk für jemanden. Ja. Was?
Only the trachea left to be examined. Surprisingly, it's not damaged by the decapitation. I move on to cutting it open.
Ja, ich war als Maid da. Hast du kein Instagram? Da habe ich immer das Neueste, was ich da gerade mache und so. Auf Instagram poste ich alles, was ich gerade tue und wo ich bin und zensiere die Luftröhre mit Tablet, nicht Brett.
Okay. I carefully cut, and... blood. Just as I expected. Evans not only swallowed it, but also
Ja,
choked
schade.
on it.
Dann kannst du gar keine Fotos sehen. Zensiere die Luftröhre auf den Mittleren, ja.
Looks like I can wrap this up. Let me tie this together. After he was abducted, stripped, and tied up, he was dealt several penetrating blows to the chest. Then his head was cut off. Evans was deprived of his genitals, and the body served as an easy meal for the animals.
Notiere die Hauptursache. Ich doch.
Even though there are a lot of injuries on the body that could cause death, it was the decapitation that ended Evan's life. The animal bites in the limbs occurred after death, so there's no reason to treat these as the cause of death. The damage to the lungs and heart must have led to severe hemorrhaging, so there's no doubt that Evans was choking in bloody convulsions. But it didn't last too long, which I conclude from the small amount of blood in the stomach and trachea. I never thought I'd ever wish someone to have a heart attack, but in this case, it would have been better for him. In some way, it can be said with certainty that James Evans was murdered. Oh well. I need to stitch this poor guy back up.
Moment. Macht er das jetzt nicht? Warum macht er das jetzt nicht? Warum nicht? Komisch. Verstehe ich jetzt nicht. Oder? Ne, auch nicht. Okay, aber das ist dann mein Account. Da der Name.
It's really bothering me. Something's not right here. Because even now, the organs are relatively clean. The skin around wounds also. It's like, someone... I'll leave these questions for the police to solve.
Ich hab den doch da jetzt
And
reingeschrieben.
now,
Also mein Name jetzt reingeschrieben.
I get to head home.
Ja.
fucked up thing. I'll hold off taking long walks in the forest for the near future. I have a feeling that it won't end with just one body. Good night, Mr. Ridley. The body is ready to be picked up.
Sure. Good night.
I think it's the first time in a long time that I finished work at a decent hour. I'll get home and... Oh, come on. Fuck! When did I get a flat tire? What the fuck? Oh, come on. This is impossible. What's this supposed to mean? Why is this happening? Oh, someone is messing with me again. Oh.
Oh, das weiß ich jetzt nicht, wie ich das machen soll. Im Discord kann ich das nachher machen. Schickt ihr das im Discord? Finde raus, was mit dem Ralf passiert ist. Hab ich doch. Aber da konnte ich nichts machen. Ach so, jetzt.
Fuck. I'm going to Ridley's. Maybe he saw something. Ridley, do you know what happened to my car?
Oh, what happened to your car?
All the tires are fucking flat!
Well, it happens. Don't you have a spare in the trunk?
Spare ones in the trunk. No one carries 4 fucking extra tires. In the trunk!
Jesus, Handman, calm down. I'll call you a taxi.
Calm down? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? Have you seen anyone around here?
Yeah.
Someone strange? Suspicious?
Except you? No.
Haha, funny. I don't find all these jokes amusing, you know.
What jokes? Hammond, what's wrong with you? It's just tires.
Such things are not a coincidence! What's wrong with me? Things keep happening. Last week, and now this?
Just go wait for the taxi, okay? Fresh air would do you good. Neither you nor I will do anything about it now.
Neither you nor I will do anything? What have you been doing all day? Surely something like this can't just be overlooked.
Maybe you should go outside and cool down. I'm calling a taxi.
Cool down.
Was ich jetzt sagen wollte,
I just want to sleep.
ja genau, bei dem Cosplay hatte ich auch Katzenohren an. Oh, ich will raus. Mann. So. Schließe Kapitel 3 ab. James Evan Jr. Chapter 4.
It would be easier just to move in and live here. I doubt I'll get reimbursed for the cab.
Okay. Mache ich dich erlegen? Nö. Das machte bestimmt deine Freundin auch für dich. Ja. Also, ich bedanke mich fürs Zuschauen. Jetzt habe ich schon sogar 2 Kapitel in einem Tag fertig gemacht, aber da war noch ein bisschen Zeit. Ja. Dann wünsche ich noch einen schönen Sonntag. Danke fürs Zuschauen oder reinschauen. Ich streame wieder am Freitag und am Samstag und am Sonntag weiß ich leider noch nicht. Also da habe ich wieder was vor und ich weiß nicht, wie spät es wird. Aber ich wünsche euch noch eine schöne Woche. Bis dahin. Ciao.